Falcon fans, and of course, good old Atlanta Falcon fans. You already know what it is. You already know what to do. One time for the fan. We back talking Falcons football on a pop-up podcast. Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, Amazon Podcast. Man, we everywhere. Facebook, Twitter. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And let's jump right into it. T Will from our ATO Sports One Time for the Fan is here. Miss Carrie, baby. Carrie is safe. She made it back to Tampa. Everything's
I
good.
made it back.
She is back down there in FLA, Florida.
Fortunately, didn't bring back a W with me, but it's all good.
Didn't bring back the dub, but Carrie is safe and sound here. One time for the fan. I know y'all already in the chat talking Falcons football. Some of y'all already upset. We didn't even get to the how's everybody doing today. So uh yeah, Falcons fans, we got a lot to talk about tonight. So this is what I want y'all to do. Tag your Falcons friends and family. Let them know this is the moment to vent, right? This is the moment to
Mhm.
show up to the podcast. Of course, we respect all opinions. We're not going to be disrespectful, though, right? We've seen some stuff on social media already. The name calling and certain things. We do have player family and a lot of people who watch this show. And T. Well, you saw it yesterday. We have a lot of player family who know about this show. So we don't want to
Right.
be disrespectful in any type of matter when we come to what happened yesterday. But then again, it's football, and you guys know the business of what goes on behind the scenes and what needs to be done. So we'll talk some Falcons football here tonight. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in after the podcast goes off, and we're going to be watching and listening. And shout out to everybody who is here tonight. So with that being said, Miss Carrie, how is everything going for you?
I
BPE
mean,
Carrie.
yeah, I mean, definitely BPE carry after watching Penix yesterday, man. He's definitely him. I think we finally found our guy, post Matt Ryan era, so I'm so happy about that. Fortunately, Penix was let down by his
Oh, we getting
teammates
we
and
getting to that
coaches.
already, Carrie? I thought
I'm
we just want to find
sorry.
out how you're doing. Like it's what
I mean,
3 minutes and 37 seconds into the show. Carrie's already getting ready to drop the bomb on Falcon fans. Not go ahead, Carrie.
I mean, man, Falcons fans, Falcons family, it's been rough out here. T-Will tries to help me out, like, not to be all sad, but I'm like, I don't know. Like, after the game, we went to the bar across the street, and I just see people just dancing and drinking and loving life like nothing happened. I'm like, that loss happened like 10 minutes ago. I'm
Atlanta
still
will
just
Atlanta. I tell you that.
right.
Atlanta
I'm
will
like,
Atlanta.
how do I get to that level? Because me, I'm just like sitting there like in shock. Like that really just happened, man.
Well, you got to drive a scat pack and drink a lot of alcohol. T Will, former ATL Sports, one time for the fan. Uh, let's see if we can find out how T Will's doing without mentioning anything nobody. No, I'm just playing. See how T Will's doing over there in former ATL Sports world. T Will, how is everything going on for you? Not only since the last time we did the podcast, but within the last 24 hours as well.
Hey man, doing well. I am alive. We are alive. You know, there are other things to come. Yesterday was definitely disappointing. Well, I'm laughing because Carrie and I, when we went over to the bar across the street, literally we're sitting down on the first level, and we are engulfed by Tampa Bay fans. I mean, engulfed, and they're dancing and laughing and joking. And for whatever reason, they just keep coming up to me and Carrie saying hi, 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 being nice or whatever. And Carrie's like, T. Will, how do you do it? How are you just not agitated? And I'm like, Carrie, this is it. There are 17 games in this season. This is just game one. No, it did not turn out in the way in which we wanted it to be, but it's just game one, and hopefully we learn from it and get better for it. Look, there are some positives in yesterday's game. There were a lot of positives. There were a lot of
There
negatives.
were.
I think some of the positives are the defense did well. Now, on that last drive or whatever,
See,
they
T Will's trying to get already into it too,
I
Jag. You got to
mean,
get
we didn't
under
even
him
get to the
too.
chat yet. I already see that T Will's getting ready to break into
yeah.
the
We're
segment
ready to
already.
talk
But that's
about
Well,
this.
I mean,
T Will's a
hey, look
podcaster.
here,
That's what you get when you got T Will here on the show.
look here, man. It wasn't, again, for me. I've been through this. This be my 48th, 49th year. So I've been through the ups and downs, man, the ebbs and flows. One loss does not a season make, right? You got to pace yourself. So
You said what? You said your 8th year? Your 9th year?
49, 49.
Wow. Wow, T-Will.
49. So, you got to pace yourself, man. You know what I mean? Look, we have 16 more games. Not a big deal. We just got to figure it out. I look, Penix had some great plays yesterday. Believe it or not, Penix had a few passes. Hey, Miss Pam, how you doing? Hopefully all is well. Penix had a few passes that he missed yesterday. And Baker did too. I mean, if you look at it, there was some rust. I will say that there was some rust. But all in all, I'm proud of the way our defense played. We got pressured. How many sacks did we ended up getting?
We only got one,
Got
unfortunately.
one.
Only one sack.
Yeah,
We
we
should have
got
had 4, honestly, but we'll get into that, right? I'm sure. Are
yeah,
we?
we will. But
Okay.
I wasn't discouraged. It was a divisional game. It was 23-20. We had an opportunity to win. We came back and scored a touchdown. With what, a minute or whatever, 2 minutes or whatever left. So, I mean, these things happen. It happens. But
So
you can't dwell on
No,
we
it
just
can't
got an
happen.
update too as well. The Eagles just made a trade. They just got running back Tank Bigsby from the Jaguars.
Oh, wow.
So the
Okay.
Eagles is actually making some moves right now as we're live here on this podcast. They looked at week 1 and realized there's a little bit more depth that they need, and they went ahead and got Tank Bigsby. So Eagles making moves. Falcons, will they make some moves? Sorry to cut you off there, T-Will, but maybe there is a move the Falcons can make coming up soon, because a lot of fans are kind of upset about what they saw in the 4th quarter yesterday of the Falcons-Buccaneers game. But before we get to that, let's get to the fans in the stands, because everybody's having a good time over there. We got Dwayne Ruffin checking in from the West Coast. One time
Hey,
for the
Deke.
one time. We got that boy Eric Parker checking in. Big shout out to Eric Parker.
What up, LBB?
I'm glad Eric Parker's here in the chat tonight. Eric, we found the other slide. So if you wanted to return back to Gate 1 at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, they'll return your other slide.
Oh, wow.
I know you were missing. I know you was missing the flip-flop yesterday. Big shout out to Eric Parker in the chat. Smooth C78 is in the chat with the one time. Dwayne Ruffin said, Rook and Koo still getting on my nerves. 24 hours later, Dwayne Ruffin got a lot to talk about. And of course, the birthday boy is here. Got DSGB Hall with the Falcon fans, and of course, Falcon fans. Hats off to you, sir. Happy birthday to DSGB Hall. I'm sure Carolyn has you getting ready to go to a nice restaurant or something. So big shout out to DSGB Hall. Millie Mills in the chat with the one time. What's up with it? Salute to you too, sir.
Man.
Eric Parker said, "Where do you live?" Eric Parker wants to know people's coordinates. He wants to know where are you at right now, Falcon fan. So,
wow!
Big shout out to Eric Parker. Smooth C said, "Hey, Jack, that pick for quarterback paid dividends." Josh Allen. We will talk about that too tonight, Falcon fans.
Oh, wow!
Jack Spade won his Week 1 fantasy matchup after all the talk about how bad the team looks and Myles Garrett's expression about Jack, you picked defense, and yeah, I did. And I gave Smitty that work. Tag Smitty. Hashtag tag Smitty. Week 1's in the books. Jack Spade comes away with the Dubski. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle didn't do nothing for me yesterday. And still came away with the dub. The Eagles
can't even talk
didn't do nothing for me the other
Country
night.
killed me. I can't believe it.
Who'd you lost?
Big Low. I did.
Big Low gave you the work?
I made the mistake of freaking starting Jared Goff over Justin Fields, who, by the way,
had work yesterday.
He did. He looks bad with the new offense without Ben Johnson. With the new offensive coordinator, it looks bad. But I had Justin Fields on my bench, who balled out. By the way, he was 16 for 22, 218 yards, threw a touchdown, 2 rushing touchdowns. He had a nearly perfect game, 29.52 points. He was on my bench.
I figured I was going to come away with the dub. We'll talk quickly fantasy. I figured I was going to come away with the dub carry when I saw Smitty's lineup and he had the Ravens defense. And I'm like, I got Josh Allen. You're picking the Ravens defense and I got Josh Allen. And sure enough, I was watching the game going up into like the 3rd, 4th quarter. And I'm like, man, the Bills, I can't believe this. Like, that team is probably as strong as the Kansas City Chiefs. They haven't won the Super Bowls yet, but that team is strong. and we played them in a couple of weeks too as well. And you can't get past the Bucs. That Monday night game is going to be one hell of a matchup. I can tell you right now because the Bills came back from 15 points in the fourth quarter.
Hey, Jack, I don't mean to cut you off, man, but we've reached that point in the show. You know what point I'm talking about, Jack. You know what point I'm talking.
Oh my goodness,
I believe we did.
Scared me.
Talking about.
I thought Raheem jumped in the. I thought Koo was here. I'm about to say, oh shit. Well,
I'm talking about.
Good thing we didn't talk about Koo yet.
I'm talking about a super chat.
We sure do have it. We have a super chat from the one and only.
Super chat.
This Carrie still got that margarita in her system. Big shout out to Uncle Steve.
Oh wow, put me out there.
Wait, your boss is not in here watching, right, Carrie? I mean, anybody from the
no one's been here. Well, they
Carrie
might be.
was fine. It's just one little drink. Everybody has little drinks out there. Uncle Steve's Lounge is in here. One time for the one time.
Hey, Uncle Steve.
Sad outcome, but very encouraged. Carrie better trademark BPE quick because he lived up to it yesterday. The future is bright. See you in Minnesota, Jack. I'll see you back at the Benz because I will not be going to Minnesota. I've been there. Okay. I've been there too many times, and I was there the last 2 times we lost to the Vikings. I will say this, Falcon fans, it's very loud in that stadium. Be very prepared if you're heading out there to Vikings country. It's loud. I mean, fireworks, damn near explosions. It goes. They do a good job of putting up the the ambience and the whole setting for the game when it comes to Vikings country out there because nobody really goes to Minnesota like that. Not no dissment like that, but if you're going to Minnesota, I mean, they have the Timberwolves, they have their hockey teams and so on, and I mean, they have college football and so on. But when the Vikings come out there and play, everybody shows up. You're going to see purple and white on Sunday, and they're going to be in their seats. I promise you, they're going to be in their seats about 30 minutes before kickoff because they love to see the opening presentation and everything. But it is very loud in there. When they do the horn with the woo, when you hear that first down, third down, it is loud, and those fans get on their feet, Falcon fans. So please, if you're heading out to Minnesota, have a great time. The weather apparently is supposed to be nice. Last time I went, it was like 30, maybe 20 degrees out there. I think it snowed the day before we got in, but that was the Kirk Cousins game where, of course, we kind of got messed up pretty bad in the fourth quarter. But Uncle Steve's Lounge with the super chat to start us off early on One Time for the Fan. Big shout out to Uncle Steve's Lounge, content creator, who was live earlier too as well. Steve had a lot of stuff going on, so I did not get a chance to jump into the chat, but I quickly scrolled through and saw you talking Falcons football. And Steve talks Falcons football on a level that I think all fans will understand. So Falcon fans, if you haven't heard of Uncle Steve's Lounge, please head over to his channel. It's on YouTube. Head over to his channel, hit the like, share, and subscribe button so that way, you can join Uncle Steve's community because this brother talks Falcons, and he's going to be a special guest on this show coming up real soon. Right? I think we need to do something. There's an early bye week this year for the Falcons. I think our bye week is going to be set up pretty cool. Bring a lot of special guests together. Carrie, we've been talking to some fans too as well to get them on the show, trying to coordinate times. The bye week probably seems like the best time to have a lot of special guests on. Miles Garrett, also from Fox 5, will be coming back to talk Falcons. Big shout out to Miles. But Uncle Steve's Lounge, if you haven't heard of him, now you heard of him. So head on over to his channel. Hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe, drop a comment in the chat when you see him talking Falcons. He will talk Falcons right back with you. So shout out to Uncle Steve's Lounge for the super.
Thank you, Uncle Steve. Seriously.
So early
Thank you so much.
in the show. Going back to the fantasy talk, I whooped up on Uncle Steve. I mean, I'm sorry, on Smitty. I whooped up on Smitty pretty bad. So Smitty, I guess I might see you next year. I don't know. I mean, is that how it works? Do I play him again, or how does this thing?
You might see him in the playoffs if you make it that far.
Playoffs, Smitty, playoffs. I got Josh Allen at quarterback, man.
Wow, he might have LJ8. You never know.
We will see. I guess I gotta watch out for who got Michael Penix because right now Michael Penix is tearing up the scene.
That's T. Will.
That's T. Will. Oh, good pick, Mike. Wait a minute, T. Will got 3 quarterbacks.
Yes.
That's what. Oh my gosh, and that kind of helps me out because T. Will has 3 of I think the top 10, 15 quarterbacks in the fantasy league. He got Penix. He got Jaden Daniels. Who else you got, T. Will?
You got
Kyler Murray, don't you?
No. I got what's his name from
No, country is Kyler Murray
I got
and Dak.
Matt from LA,
Matt
Matt
Stafford.
Stafford.
Stafford,
That
yeah.
helps me out because when T Will gets beat coming up, he doesn't make it to the playoffs. I'm gonna look and see who am I playing up against this week. Josh Allen versus look, it's Tua Tungaloa. Because you know how this fantasy thing works, Falcons fans. So I feel good. I feel good. Came up with the dub. But Falcon fans in the chat talking Falcons football. It's great to see everybody. Millie Mills is here. Penix was out there wheeling and dealing. Rolex wearing son of a gun. Rick Flair voice.
I love it.
Woo! Big shot to
Millie
Silk Legacy.
Mills.
I know Millie Mills is always here
I
talking
have to
Falcons, man.
ask him what he thinks about that should have been touchdown, game-winning touchdown from Hodge. I know he's a big Hodge fan, so
Did
just,
Michael Penix spoke with the media? When he spoke with the media, he mentioned that he threw the ball a little bit too early. Is that what I heard? I mean,
yeah.
maybe is Penix sticking up for the guy, or is he just
I
like,
Yeah,
listen?
mean,
I
yeah.
don't I don't think he threw it early. I just think that the defender got there at the same time that Hodge was about to. I mean, that was bang bang. You get what I'm saying? It's not like Hodge just dropped it. It's as soon as I think it was Casey Washington. But as soon as he touched it, instead of him bringing in, the defender got there and knocked it
Oh,
out.
you're talking about Casey Washington. Yeah, that one, that was, in my opinion, that was just a great play by
It was.
Winfield Jr. I mean,
It was.
he's one of the best at his position, so I can't even be mad at the Casey Washington play. But
Yeah.
the Hodge one, I'm not gonna blame Penix. I feel like that he's doing what a good quarterback is supposed to do and take the blame, be the leader of the team. That's what leaders do.
Mhm.
But Penix played his butt off yesterday, honestly, and if you look at his stats, he did everything to make sure we won that game. Um, I mean, his numbers looked really good. If you were there at the game, you saw he looked really good. I mean, Drake London went out at the end of the game. You already don't have Mooney, so you're missing your top two receivers, and you still trot all the way down the field, give your team a chance to win the game,
Mhm.
even with no run game, literally no support with the run game.
Hmm.
Some people may say the play calling on offense was, pretty predictable. I feel like despite the circumstances, he played very well, and I'm not gonna blame him for the Hodge thing. I don't know if you guys got a chance to check it out, but I sent a video clip of the angle, a really great angle showing what happened with the Hodge thing, and it looks like he trips literally over his own feet.
Mm.
So you'll have to check that out. So I think that's why he missed the step. Like he would have been there, but
Mm.
Falcon
unfortunate.
fans in the chat, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Let's talk Falcons football. How do you feel about the game yesterday? What are your thoughts, positive and negative? We do have some things to go over here before Monday Night Football gets underway. I know a lot of fans are probably watching the Bears Vikings tonight because guess what? We play the Vikings next week on Sunday Night Football. It's going to be a big game for Michael Penix going back to Minnesota, which we was on the sideline last time, but this time he is the starting quarterback. Kirk Cousins is also back in Minnesota too as well. So look at
Mm.
that. 20 minutes into the show, we drop Kirk Cousins' name. That's probably the last time we drop it. But Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Smooth season in the chat with you guys are hilarious. Smooth was asking Eric Parker, did I fix the shingles on his house? Eric Parker said yes, but I left the hammer outside. Big shout out to Eric
Oh,
Parker. They
wow.
start the roast of Jack Spade here on One Time for the Fan. But we're gonna go ahead and make sure it's a quick pop-up show tonight, so won't be too much roasting going on. And of course, we have the great I'm sorry, not Auntie Pam, the great Pam Jackson here in the chat. Hi, Jack, Carrie, and T Will, and
Hi, Pam.
Falcons fans.
Hey
Big shout out
Pam.
to Pam Jackson in the chat. Eric Parker also said we lost the first game against Tampa when we went to the Super Bowl II. Falcon
That's a good
fans. So
point.
I love it,
I
Eric.
mean, that's a good
It's
Eric,
so
let me
point.
tell you
what?
something. That's what you
No,
need. You need positivity. There's some
I
fans
love it.
who don't get to week 2, right? They don't get to week 3. They look at week 1 and say, "That's it. We can't beat the Bucs. Can't make field goals. That's it. End the season." Eric Parker's
Mm.
Eric Parker. If he says 17-0, now he's saying 16-1. He's not
No,
the fan to
literally,
just
I
give it up.
asked. No, to your point, Jack, I literally asked T Will that at the bar yesterday. I was like, how does Eric Parker do it? I know he's 17-0, but we just lost that
Mhm.
game. Like, how does he just flip the switch? All right, we're gonna win the next one. Like, don't you need a minute? Like me, like I'm good the next day. Like today, I'm much better. Yesterday, I was very upset,
Mhm.
but today I'm much better. I just need one day, the rest of that day to be upset, and then I'm good. But T. Will said the same thing as you. He's like, Eric will be like 16-1.
Right.
Like,
And the same thing
wow,
for you,
okay.
Carrie, about feeling upset too. I mean, you also had to go right back to Florida right after the game. So it's like
With the Bucks fans in the
with the
plane.
Bucks fans, and I'm sure most of them
Mm.
was on the flight heading back, and it's like, oh,
Mm.
you're heading back to Florida as a Falcon fan? Oh, you're supposed to be with us. But for Carrie, she had to, you know, get ready to catch a flight, and I'm sure she would have had an extra day to hang out. She would have had a little bit more time to, relax and kick back. But from the game, straight to grabbing her stuff and then going back to Florida, and you feeling that you know you need a couple hours to reset, especially after how the way we lost. Right? I mean, Michael Penix put us in that position to go out there and
Mm.
I don't even want to get to that point. But Falcon fans in the
That
chat,
that diving touchdown was incredible. I'm
right,
not gonna lie.
right.
Like,
I know
he's
some fans
become
are
a
calling
meme
out.
today. Like,
What's up,
The
Carrie?
the the play before the diving touchdown where
Mhm.
he dove to get the first down, that was
sorry,
incredible as well.
that's the one I
Yeah,
mean,
okay,
yeah. Yes,
yeah.
that's the one I'm talking
Well,
about. Yeah, that
they
was,
were both
yeah,
great because
yeah, true.
on the touchdown when he scored it on a fourth down, right? It's fourth down and nobody's open, so he just says F it, let's run for it and go for it. But Kerry, they were both great plays. I tell you what was funny, Jack. Kerry and I were across the street yesterday, and Kerry's bummed out, and these Bucs fans are having the time of their life,
It made me sick. I'm
and
not gonna
they're
lie.
coming up, and for whatever reason, they're just being nice to us because I guess we're the only Falcon fans in close vicinity, and they're not coming up mocking us. They're really not. They're coming up with the appropriate sensitivity, but they're being all nice or whatever. And I was like, Carrie, you just got to lean in. You know what I mean?
I didn't want to hear it. I'm
You gotta
sorry. They're
enjoy
literally
life.
smoking cigars right in front of us, dancing, loving life, and I'm just sitting here watching. Like, I'm like, man, I need a drink. Like,
So
they're literally celebrating. I'm just like, oh,
there was this one fan that he was not the best dancer, but you couldn't tell him that he definitely had a lot of spirit. I mean, you know who I'm talking about, Carrie.
yeah.
He just kept going and going and going, but it was infectious, Jack. So we're watching him dance and he's clowning around and whatever. And then of course I think you showed up like maybe 45 minutes later. But the whole thing was, man, I enjoyed the fellowship. I hate we lost the game. I do. I hate
The
we
fellowship
lost
is
the
one thing
game.
about Falcon games. You can see the Benz was electric yesterday.
It
It
was
Like
was.
Carrie,
And no one's
it was
talking about
electric.
that. Like, I haven't seen anybody really talking about that, but I feel like the last 3 home openers I've been to, this was the most packed out I've seen.
Yeah.
mhm.
And this was
Miles
the
Garrett mentioned it.
loudest I
Yeah.
saw. Oh, did
Mhm.
he? Okay. Yeah, because
Miles
I was
Garrett
like, I
mentioned it
haven't
on our
seen.
podcast the other day. He said week 1 we bring it. And then the
Yeah.
following weeks, they kind of determines off of week 1 how we're gonna, play the rest of the season. I hate to say this, Falcon fans, you have a tough Washington Commanders team when you get back to the Benz.
Well,
Following
Mm.
that, you have a very tough AFC Buffalo Bills team. Let me tell you something about the Buffalo Bills team for this
yeah.
Bills Mafia. They already have events set up. They travel very well.
Very
The way
well.
Falcon fans look at these season tickets, they're like, I can make $17 off of this ticket if I sell it to a
Mm.
Bills fan. So once again, be very careful here, Falcon fans, because that moment that we live on that, this is ATL and this is our city, you'll find those same fans selling those tickets because, we lost to the Bucs week 1. So Falcon fans, please
Mm.
hit that like, share, and subscribe button as we talk some Falcons football here. Smooth C said, I want to hang out with y'all when you get back to the Benz. We will definitely be in the Benz all season and on the road too as well. I'm just not going to Minnesota. But we'll definitely be, home games, away games. So Smooth C, hit us up when you get back into the Benz. I'm sure T will be there. Carrie, if you're planning to come to another game, of course, Carrie gets the VIP. Carrie's Miss VIP. I'm talking about. She won't
Stop.
even answer her phone sometime. I'm over here calling. Carrie, where you at? Carrie, can you answer the phone? Sending text messages. I threw it down. I said,
Yesterday
Carrie,
was so
I put
much
Carrie call
noise,
me on the Halo
man.
board. Did you see it? I put Carrie call me on the Halo board.
It
Carrie
was
didn't even see
so
it.
much noise, Jack. Jack,
And
it
I
was
was
so much
taking so
noise.
many videos and pictures. I messed up. I didn't
Yeah.
bring a portable charger. We're going across the street to the bar.
Right.
And I'm like, my phone is at 4%. How am I going to call an Uber to the airport? How am I going to get my boarding pass? You depend on your phone so much now.
Right.
Yeah.
So we got to
But
bring the jump pack with us, a little portal pack next time, because even my phone
yeah.
was getting ready to run low. Falcon fans, the Wi-Fi in the stadium wasn't allowing us to post quickly. Like we're trying to post. Wasn't just going through like that. I don't know why. So we uploaded everything this morning on One Time for the Fan. A lot of y'all see some of the stuff walking around the stadium and what's going on. But have a great idea for the next time we're back in the Benz.
Cool.
So Falcon fans, I'm glad that you guys tuned in to One Time for the Fan on the IG page. Big shout out to everybody who has been commenting and liking the videos and the pictures. And, if you have questions about the Benz, you have questions about the Falcons, go ahead and drop it here in the chat. We got a couple minutes to talk Falcons football here. This won't be a 2-hour show. This won't be a 3-hour show because the Vikings and the Bears getting ready to play soon. And we want to make sure that fans can enjoy their Monday night. I'm sure people have some work tomorrow, or even for myself, no more daylight. Only the sun's down, so I'll probably be heading to the gym around the second half. And just relax and enjoy the rest of my week before I know the Falcons go up to Minnesota. And I do think they can come away with a win. We'll explain that later on in the week about Falcons Vikings. Just a little bit about Falcons Bucs here. We're trying to do the best we can to not mention the kicker named Koo. We're almost 27 minutes into the show here, but we do have to get to it because Falcon fans have questions and we have answers. Eric Parker's in the chat says Jack put hot sauce on his ice cream, then blows on it before he eats it. Eric Parker's Jesus Christ. I gotta give him a sheet. I gotta give him hold on. Let me hit Eric Parker with this one.
Yikes. That sounds disgusting.
Wow.
Eric Parker, you get the laugh too as well. You get the laugh
Oh, that's pretty good, little. That is pretty good, little brother. I love that, man.
That's a good one.
That you love it. I just pictured that and it's like, oh, gross.
That's tough. Hot sauce on ice cream.
But that's what makes it funny. Who does that? Who's gonna put
Craig's in the chat. He's following up too. He's piggybacking. He's like, Jack, I appreciate you mowing my grass today. I can tell you was still mad by the way you cut my grass. Gosh, what is going on here? Is the hate is the hate for Koo coming at me? Is that what it is?
Wow.
I know some of y'all.
What up, Craig? What's going on,
Craig?
Craig?
Was going off. I saw some people using some foul language, a potty mouth when speaking about some of these players here. Shout out to Kivara too as well. Pam Jackson's in the chat. It was a great game, but we have to get it together like yesterday. Play calling have to get better. We kept doing the same old lineup, and the Bucs cut on.
Let me ask you a question regarding that, Jack. Let me ask you a question. It seemed like the play calling was altered because they did not want to run to the outside. A lot of we tried on the running plays that we did do.
Oh, you didn't run enough to the outside.
Well, we kept trying to go up the middle, and that was just a no-go.
Staying away from the side where Wilkerson filled in that. I see what they were doing.
You said what?
They were trying to get away from, Wilkerson, that plug-and-play moment. McGarry's not there, so they don't know if they can trust, I'm guessing, that side with Wilkerson just that quick. And like you said, T-Will, they try to run up the middle a lot.
You know what's crazy, too, to that point is that we did not lose that game yesterday because bad O-line play. I felt like Bergeron didn't have his best game yesterday. I mean, even Chris Lindstrom, best guard in the league versus Vita Vea, wasn't really winning that match.
Vita not playing, Carrie, and sure enough, here go the joke of showing up on Sunday. So.
He was dominating. I'm not gonna lie, unfortunately, but honestly, outside of the 2 false starts that Elijah Wilkinson had, that drove me crazy because he did the same thing in the preseason. I'm like, dude, like, come on, you're a 9-year vet. Like, we were getting a lot of penalties in this game. I was not a fan of that, because to me, that's coaching. Like, penalties like false starts and stuff like that is like, come on. So all that to say, I feel like despite our O-line not having the best day, I feel like their D-line did win in the trenches. I do still feel like we didn't lose because of our offensive line. I feel like they still were all right. Like even Wilkinson, he was all right. Like he did his job. Like he wasn't terrible and he wasn't great. You know what I mean? Like he did what he needed to do.
Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Got an interesting stat for you, too, where you talked about the running game. I know you want to piggyback off of this. Falcons rushing 28 carries for 69 yards, TD on the ground. But, of course, the Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield had more rushing yards than our running backs. 5 attempts for 39 yards. A lot of times you see Baker Mayfield escaping the pocket and getting down the field when that's old Baker from – how we've been seeing Baker the past couple years here in the NFC South. And, we just got to do a little bit better, especially on that side. The defense did not come out there and get the 4, 5, 6, 7 sack game that, a lot of fans were probably expecting with, this new defense and Jeff Ulbrich and everything. Also, T. Will.
They did get the pressure, though, I'm not gonna lie,
They
even
did
though
get the pressure.
yeah, they were honestly, they were pretty dominant, um, which to me should be expected because I don't know if you guys saw, but right before the game started, the Bucs announced that they were reshuffling their offensive line. They had their
Right.
center playing left guard, like,
Yeah.
it was very weird. They
Guard
were
and tackle, apparently.
so they did a little reshuffling, so I would expect our D-line to dominate, but, um I believe that our defensive line 1, 2, 3 so our defensive line had the 6th highest pressure rate in the league, not including tonight's game. So they were getting the pressure despite only getting the 1 sack. Like that Caden Ellis sack, I know he's probably gonna hate that he didn't get there. He should have got there, but there was probably like 3 sacks we should have had. So in total, 3 to 4 sacks, I would say. Do you agree, T-Will?
I agree. And
Same thing with the
four
interceptions.
interceptions, which is what I was
Yeah,
about to say. Yeah, that was I mean, look, it's a game of inches, right? But I was definitely encouraged by the defensive play of
me
this.
too.
I was definitely encouraged. They looked up, except on that last drive. I don't know what happened, but hey, they did play well. Um, I was concerned about the running game.
Mm-hmm.
Inept is not even the word for it.
I would like to
Um,
talk to you, Mr. Dwayne Ledford, please.
yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Is he in the
look,
chat, Falcon fans? Can you go?
I mean, if he is like, man, please, respectfully, we got Bajan Robinson and Tyler Algier, man. That should be like a two-headed beast. But Tampa, to me, came into this game with one goal and they achieved that, and that's not let Bijan go off. Like, don't let our two-headed monster go off against them. They stopped the run. I mean, I think they averaged 2.5 yards per carry, both of our running backs, which is wild to say because Bijan, is arguably top 3 running back in the league. So
Which he
they
started the game on an
definitely
explosive play too, as well. Fans got on their feet. A lot of fans didn't even get a chance to scan their ticket to get into the stadium yet. They look up on the screen and Bijan's bringing it in for a 50-yarder. But
right.
the good thing about it is, even though the running game didn't get going, BPE, Michael Penix Jr., 27 of 42, almost 300 yards. This kid is smoking out there, man.
He
And I think
was.
that's what fans wanted to see last year when Kurt had the injury. Maybe if he would have came in a little bit earlier, we would have got over that hump too as well. But what
Jack,
I
he
saw
doesn't
yesterday,
flinch
I
under
feel good about
pressure.
my quarterback. That's my quarterback. Kerry, talk about BPE Penix. That's your
No,
guy. You stamped it since day one, since he was here as a Falcon. Year later, he's now
no.
taking over the reins as the starting quarterback. But Kerry, BPE Penix, this kid is on fire already in week
He
1.
yeah, I'm with you. Like he makes nothing out of something. I mean, he was anytime he was under pressure, I was so blown away by how he escapes a sack. He only got sacked 1 time, but he was pressured. I'm gonna
He got
find the
hit.
stat once he was talking. Yeah, he was getting
Mhm.
pressure, but there was multiple times where he would evade the pressure, and I was super impressed with him, like making the plays. Even made a few runs for the first down. I mean, I just was so impressed that he just doesn't fold under pressure. He doesn't get nervous. He just feels like he's built for the moment.
Mhm.
And I listened to a recent interview his mom did, and she just said, like, he wants to win. He's a winner. Wherever he goes, he wins. The people around him, like, he lifts them up to want to win too. And I think that's why he is the way he is, because he just knows you can't fold under pressure, stay poised and focused. And I mean, he did just that. He put us in a position to win that game. He marched right on down the field with the offense
Mhm.
and made it happen. Unfortunately, even our receivers, even Drake had 2 drops.
Mhm.
I don't know, were they both touchdowns? One was a touchdown. I don't know what's your guys' opinion, but I thought the one was a touchdown because
Yeah.
if it's not clear and obvious
Yeah.
to not call it a touchdown, if you don't have a good enough view,
Mhm.
then that's a touchdown to me, but they said no touchdown,
And
so
it's funny because when that happened, first thing I thought about is, recent moments that's going on in my life and everything. And my son played Friday, had his first
right.
game. They lost to the champions in their division, who won the league before the past 2 years. But we scored a touchdown, and for some reason, the ref calls it back. and we
Mhm.
lost by a touchdown. This has been the closest margin that my son's team has been to this school in the past 4 years. This team has been really good. But they called it back, and I'm sitting there thinking, well, what's the call? Because we didn't see nothing. It was like a late flag, and nobody even seen the flag. And then they said one of the receivers wasn't set up correctly. He was false start, whatever. That nonsense. And I'm sitting there thinking the same thing with the Drake London situation. Like, well, what? That's a touchdown. All the fans see, even the Bucs fans next to me was like, that's a touchdown. That's a touchdown. Then when the refs go back and say, we're going to review the play, the second time when they walked over there and said, we're going to review the play, then the Bucs fans started to get happy and say, oh, no, Drake London, drop it. But Drake London, fans are asking about in the chat too as well. 15 targets, 8 receptions for 55 yards. Your leading receiver yesterday was Bijan Robinson with 6 receptions for 100 yards and a tud too as well. So big shout to Bijan. Penix did get the ball around. Let's give a shout out to number 8 too as well, Kyle Pitts. We did mention
Okay.
that. Kyle Pitts is out there. 7
Honestly,
receptions for 59 yards. Carrie?
yeah, Kyle Pitts, I mean, he had what, 57, 9 yards, you said?
7 receptions for 59 yards.
He
Kyle
had
Pitts Sr.
he was our highest graded player,
Mhm.
actually. That per PFF, Kyle Pitts was. He had a great game. I don't think anybody could have watched that game or even watched the highlights and come away saying like he didn't give effort. He did everything that everybody's been harping on him to do in the offseason. Don't give up on routes. He ran a great route when Michael Penix scored that touchdown.
Mhm.
And I thought he was gonna maybe throw it to Pitts because Pitts, like, I don't know, he ran a great route and like made this move to where the guy fell down. The
Mhm.
defender fell down in the end zone, and then Pitts was open. I thought maybe Penix was gonna throw it to Pitts for the
Mhm.
touchdown, but then he just went for it on the fourth and I believe one.
Mhm.
I think he didn't end up throwing it because maybe, he couldn't see behind him. He didn't know if someone was gonna knock him and then it wouldn't be accurate. So he just went for the touchdown.
Mhm.
But if you guys rewatch that, you could see that Pitts ran a great route and he gave a great effort. Like there was multiple plays that I saw him like stiff arming guys. Like I'm hoping we see this all season because this is what we would love to see from
You're
him.
talking about
So
Michael Penix. T. Will, please piggyback off of this. Craig said Penix got that dog in him, regardless of the situation. He put the team on his back. Reminded me of all those years, Matty Ice doing the same. Big shout to Matty Ice, too, doing the Lambeau leap out there in Green Bay,
I
enjoying
love
himself. He's
it.
enjoying being retired, right?
I love that for
Big
him.
shout to Matty Ice, but big shout to Michael Penix Jr. T. Will, Michael Penix Jr. putting the team on his back in a situation where the team needs him. We were down in the fourth quarter, drove down the field, got the job done. Even when we were down again after the Bucs came back and scored, and we set up. Well, we were getting ready to set up the. It just hurts even saying it. Michael Penix Jr. drove the offense back down the field and put the team in position to tie the game and go to the overtime. But that did not happen. T. Will, talk about him. I see you over there flashing the jersey. You're flexing. T. Will got money. Falcons fans, let's talk
all
about
of
it.
that. I wish.
Michael Penix Jr. in the chat. What are your thoughts about Michael Penix Jr.? If you're here, checking in, listening, watching, wherever you are, what are your thoughts on Michael Penix Jr.? T. Will, take it away, sir, on Michael Penix Jr.
I think Penix, like you said, Penix is a winner. So on that fourth down play where he runs to the sideline, I didn't think he had a chance in hell at doing anything because that was a broken play. He scrambles over to the left, nothing's there. He runs for it. I think there were 3 defenders around. I don't know how he ended up getting past the guy and diving, but he got the first down. If he doesn't get the first down, the game's over right there. Then on fourth down, and oh my God, it's the first game, Penix figures out, I'm just going to run it in because he threw it to Drake the play before. They called it, incomplete. Rans, but I mean, this guy is poised in any manner of situations. There's nothing you can throw at him that he's going to be. The moment is never too big for him, right? That's what I've seen about him. The moment is never too big for him. He's confident, and he's going to get the job done. So it's unfortunate that we took that loss yesterday because that would have really been something to drive down and make it 2017, and then the game's over. And then, of course, they come back and score, and guess what? He drove us down again. So
Exactly.
I have nothing bad to say about Penix. There were a few missed shots that he had yesterday, but maybe you can chalk that up to
But
rust.
that happens. I mean,
It does.
in the
It
first
does.
game of the season, like, yeah, like I mean, I even saw a few
Baker had
people
the
on
same
social.
thing, Terry.
Yeah, I mean,
Baker had the
no,
Pat
same
Mahomes
thing.
was missing throws the other day, and Pat
yeah, I
Mahomes is a
mean,
2-3
I'm
times
not
game.
even
Baker,
mad.
no. Baker had the same thing. Baker had two guys wide open, and he missed them by 30 feet. So it
Yeah,
happened. It happened.
yeah. I mean, fourth start, by the way. This is only his fourth start. So,
Right. And I
and
must
by
say,
the
this
way,
game was amazing for Penix. But yeah, Carrie.
yeah, sorry, one more thing to that point is that we also had him throw 42 times. I
Right.
mean, that's just not what you want from your rookie quarterback in his fourth start to have to throw 42 times only because that could, warrant mistakes, him throwing that many times, only in your fourth game, especially first one of the season. It's like I would have loved for the run game for them to figure out the run game so that they could have helped him out in that way,
Yeah.
that
Well,
would have helped a
Penix
lot. But
Penix has a big arm, and we talked about that all off season. They talked about that going into the draft when Penix was getting ready to get drafted by the Falcons. But even seeing last night with Penix throwing 42 times in his fourth game, was it a plan? Was that the plan for Zach Robinson to get this guy to throw the ball 40 attempts? Or was it the
um
running game was going away and they just decided, you know what, Penix, let it fly? Because
okay,
he
yeah,
did do a good job out there. I mean, this kid was moving the chains
He
at the
was.
right time. Casey Washington got involved too as well yesterday in the
Casey
right.
looked
receiving
good
game.
yesterday.
So to
Casey
your
looked good.
question, Jack, I watched Raheem's press conference earlier and he said it's never what you want for your rookie to have to throw that many times. I think that just end up having he basically said that that's what they had to make the game plan, in the game because the run game was not working. Anything they tried with the run game, they couldn't get it going. The Bucs figured out how to stop it. And like I said, they went into the game saying, we got to stop Bajan and Tyler, and they did just that. So it
Mhm,
forced Penix to throw way more than Raheem wanted.
mhm.
But my thing is, like, I was getting kind of frustrated watching the game. So I'm like, let my quarterback air it out. Like, I feel like they were only letting him dink and donk it at the beginning of the game. It's like, let him air it out, man. Like, we know he has this cannon of an arm, and you were like showing it off all training camp, right? Like, I don't know if they were playing too conservative. I felt like after that Bijan touchdown, that 50-yarder, it's like then they started playing a little conservative when we were up 7-0,
Mhm.
and with the play calling. But that's my opinion. What do you guys
You
think?
got to tack on, especially when you got a lead. You got to keep tacking it on. I saw it. Bears just scored two as well, so they're up on the
Mm,
Vikings. But even for the
okay.
Colts game yesterday, watching the Colts tack it on with Daniel Jones tacking it on to the Miami Dolphins yesterday, and they got a couple players over there. It's like those are the superstars. They didn't even show up yesterday. Browns losing as well. Even some of the games that we watched, the Ravens have a stacked team and couldn't beat the Bills, and we have to play that team in a couple of weeks too as well.
Jack,
So
to
it's
that point,
mhm.
like imagine scoring 40 plus points and you lose.
A 40 plus points. That is the crazy part. Now, Tebow was saying we're, a team that's going to be scoring 20 plus this year. We did put 20 on the board. I think on the Vikings next week, we can tack on another 20 plus. Um, I'm not worried about the Vikings going forward. I think the next two games that I'm looking for is the Commanders and the Bills game. That can really show off who you are as the Atlanta Falcons. And I'm going to tell you this right now, Falcon fans. If you do go in there and beat the Commanders, that is an NFC team that we might have to see in the playoffs later on
Mm,
this year if we make it to the playoffs. And you saw what happened last year. That Daniels Penix, it's not a
that
rivalry,
was
but of course
that
they're
was a
two
great
young quarterbacks.
game.
It was a great game, right? It was Sunday
That
night
was
football, wasn't it? Or Saturday night or
yes, and I'm ready for my get back. So this
right.
time we're winning this game.
Now,
Okay.
the one thing
So
we can say that's kind of disappointing that fans might remember is we haven't beaten Washington in the past couple years. So,
mm,
even for my son, when he played football the other night, they played the champions. They haven't beat them in 4 years. They lost by a touchdown. And honestly, the game
mm.
would have been different if the referee would have never called that penalty because we did score and the referee called it back. But that was my son playing football. Going to the Falcons, coming up against the Commanders, they do match up well against them. It wasn't a blowout the last time the Commanders played the Falcons. And I think we can match up against them. They do have a couple new pieces. Oh, Debo
Mm.
Samuels went crazy on my fantasy too as well. Thank you, Debo Samuels. Just don't do it in the next couple weeks when you play the Falcons. But we do appreciate. I mean, I do appreciate what you did against the
Oh,
Giants yesterday because it
wow.
helped me beat Smitty in the league. See, that's why I don't like playing this fantasy football stuff. Because now I'm over here giving praise to players to help me win the fantasy league, and I don't like to do that.
Hey,
I just
but
want to
I
go with my
like
Falcons,
it.
and that's it.
Well, look at it like this. Like it just makes it for me at least, it helps me learn about other players, other teams
Right.
more than just Falcons. Like it broadens my knowledge of other players.
But Carrie, I
That's
caught
what's so
myself
neat.
yesterday like, oh my God, Debo Samuels got 50 points. Let's go. Let's go. Like I don't want to do that. But then again, I got to beat Smitty. right? I got to beat Smitty. Now next week I got a tough matchup. It says on the fantasy little radar, like
Yeah.
I guess the matchup
You must be
that I
playing
could.
me.
No, I played Bird, but it says that I could lose this matchup by like 10
Mm,
points. So that means I
okay.
need some players to, outshine their line of where they're supposed to be.
Okay.
I do hope that, I can come away with a win and go 2-0. But like Eric Parker says, everybody misses throws every game. It happens. He also said the Vikings suck. And I don't think they're a good team this year. I'm looking at the Vikings the same way I'm going to look at the Lions. They will be the two bottom seed teams in the NFC North. I think the Packers is on a whole nother level this year. Jordan Love
Mm,
seems to be in rhythm. You saw it yesterday. That man was connecting with his people. Craig is in the chat too as well. Said Baker gave a very
he
high praise
did.
about Penix after the
He
game.
did.
So shout out to well, not a good shout out, but still shout out to Baker Mayfield for recognizing that Michael Penix is going to be probably one of these up and coming athletes that's going to probably end up winning him a Super Bowl here. And I'm sure it's going to be in Atlanta too as
Oh, you just
well.
give me goosebumps.
Big shout out to everybody in the chat. We got a couple of quick notes here before we get up out. Mike Conti tweeted out the glass half empty and the glass half full. Of course, with the glass half empty, T Will, you still can't
Mm.
close out games. We've had that. And shout out to the Water Boys. Remember they mentioned before the blood pressure birds. There it goes again in the fourth quarter.
I'm
Mhm.
not even
Um,
joking with you, Jack, to that point. The man next to me, an older gentleman sitting down, was literally that fourth quarter. I was so stressed out because it was a back and forth. We were going for it on fourth down. We were trying to march down that field, and they kept saying, we must have challenged like three different plays,
Yeah.
three different calls. It was just a lot going on. Um, I was very stressed because it felt like this is it right here. And the guy next to me, I'm not even kidding you, he had his head down like this in his lap, like so stressed. I was like, he's either like about to pass out, like his heart rate is going crazy, or he's praying. But oh
I think
man,
a little bit of
it was
both.
stressful. Yeah, probably a little bit of both because it
Falcons
was
fans, a little bit of
stressful.
both, right? Fourth quarter. Now, if you have that 22-10 lead, maybe it makes you feel a little bit better. Even with the Buffalo Bills Ravens game last night, that 15-point lead didn't sit well with Lamar. Like, even when they scored, I think they scored again in the fourth quarter. And it was like,
Yeah,
here comes the Bills again. So, Falcon fans, we got to tack on points. Just know that in the next couple of weeks, we can put up 40 on them and they can put up 41. Like, you got to be very prepared for this because
you hear
this
that,
team
Zach
is good.
Robinson?
I mean, we
No
hope
more
Zach Robinson.
pistol on 4th and 1, please, sir. Just saying.
Well, hopefully, they learn from their mistakes. Okay?
I'm not a fan
Yeah.
of that 4th and 1
Yeah.
and it's running a pistol like
Yeah.
formation. Like, come
And it looks
on,
like,
man.
honestly, like how they did Kirk Cousins last year, put him in the pistol a
Yeah.
lot as well. But that seems like a Zach Robinson thing. A lot of college, formations run out of that too as well. So maybe they kept Penix and things that he likes, things that he knows. These are the questions that could be asked coming up. In interviews or press conferences with Raheem and so on. Like, why are we putting him in the pistol so much? So, Falcon fans, if you ever
Right.
hear the unplugged calls with the season ticket holders and you're speaking to the coaches or the coordinators, those are the questions to ask. I can't share too much insight about tomorrow, but if you check the One Time for the Fan IG page, I will be at a location.
Mm.
I will be at a location
Exclusive location.
where, I don't want to say too much once again, but I will be at a location where I can ask these questions too as well. And I hope to get some of these answers. So, Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. T Will, we are getting ready to wrap this up here, but Mike Conti tweeting out the glass half empty. You can't close out these games. Kicking awful day in Atlanta. The run blocking was poor and late penalties. Team lost the poise too as well, but the glass half full is it was relatively an even game throughout most of the matchup. Penix can play, made a lot of huge plays, and Divine Diablo, what you call him? What do you call him? The holy
Agent
what?
Zero, man.
Agent Zero and Watts.
He
Very
looks
impressive
so good.
too as
Yes, I
well.
want to shout out
I didn't
Xavier
realize Diablo
Watts.
was that fast. I
He
did
was
not
so
realize
good
Diablo was that
yesterday.
fast. Yeah, he
Mhm.
was.
He
Diablo
was the
might be
gem in
one of our
free agency we
best.
picked up, I think, Carrie. He
That's
was
what I was gonna
definitely.
say. He's probably a gem. And then I want to shout out Xavier Watts. I know I already shout out Kyle Pitts. I want to shout out Watts because he played a great game yesterday. First NFL start, and he almost had 2 interceptions. He was so close. Like, I feel like he's gonna be I believe, third round steal for us. Like, he was great yesterday. I really, really want to shout him out.
Well, Falcon fans, I'm glad Carrie said she really wants to shout him out because I'm sure there's some fans in the chat that want to do another shout out, and it's going towards somebody who fans are not too happy with. We're about 50 minutes in the show, so everybody can be nice and calm and chill for this moment, because the last topic for today, before we get up out of here,
Uh-oh.
has to deal with the kicker.
Okay.
And Falcon fans, if you want to turn up, you can turn up, but please be respectful in the chat. Raheem mentioning today that there's going to be a kicking battle, like we're still in training camp in week 2. Sorry, going into week 2. Big directions in the chat too as well. We'll get to your comment here.
Okay.
Terry, I thought we handled this in preseason. I thought we talked about this in training camp.
Mm.
I thought we talked about this even, getting into the spring and, OTAs and stuff. And I know they brought in Lenny Craig and fans were excited. You got a guy that can kick 60 plus. But what is
I
going
don't
on here, Kerry? Now we're hearing veterans might be coming up and comers might be kicking this week with the Falcons against Koo. Kerry, we have a season to get to here, and it's week 2 against the Vikings. Why are we having a kicking competition battle?
Okay, so yeah, for me, I'll just start out with saying that Raheem, shout out to him, because I really was unsure about if he's actually going to, you know, for lack of a better word, have the cojones to like put the team before the player, because I like Raheem, but his thing is that he really likes people. He's, people love him around the league. He's very, big on relationships and all that. And, to that point, he even said this offseason that Koo is winning the kicking battle and he has a emotional bank with him. So to me, that almost sounds like you like him. Like it's not just the product on the field, is like emotional bank. So for me, same thing with what happened last season with, both Koo and with Kirk Cousins. I sometimes it's like you gotta make these decisions as a head coach, like when it's time to pull the plug and move on, It's like very tough. I know it's but that's why you are the head coach. You gotta make these tough decisions that a lot of people couldn't make, And for me, it's like I didn't know. I told this to T. Will yesterday. I don't know if Raheem will really do it, because all off season he's been saying like, "Nah, Koo won the battle." Like, yeah, there was a battle, him and Lenny, but and to that point, the Falcons reporters did report like it seemed like at points it was like, okay, they both are, maybe missing one here and there. It would seem like a good battle, but end up being Koo winning the battle, right? But for me, yes, Craig has the leg, right? The leg strength, but he's not that accurate. He's more of a project. Like he needs time to develop. So I'm not calling for Lenny Craig. My thing is bringing a veteran kicker, somebody who's proven, who can make those 44-yard, field goals that should be automatic for. I mean, kickers are making 60-yarders now, so 44 should be automatic.
They're making 70-yarders in their
Yeah,
backyard. Then they get out there in the field and make 80-yarders. Somebody's going to kick a 90-yarder one day, and they're like, "Oh my god, that guy's amazing."
Yes. Sorry, I was just gonna also add, like, I would like to see, especially last night, on my flight home, I was watching the Bills versus Ravens game, and then I see this veteran kicker that the Bills brought off the street because their kicker went down. He's injured. They bring this guy this week off the street, and he makes a game-winning field goal. It's like, oh wow, okay. So for me, yeah, bring in a veteran guy. Have a real kicking competition, right? Because I don't want the same thing to happen that was happening all last season. Koo has basically had 4 field goals that have been costly in the last 2 seasons. This was the 4th one that either could have tied the game to go to overtime, or could have been a game-winning field goal that he missed. And I'm sorry, but he is the second highest paid kicker in the league. That's just unacceptable, in my opinion. It's unfortunate because he used to be automatic. I used to call him, Money Koo, Koo's money, but it's just not I don't know. It's ever since he changed his stance, I feel like. Things have changed. He's 18 for 28 in his last 10 games, which is, I believe, third to worst of active kickers. So starting kickers, it's just, I don't know. For me, I appreciate that Raheem is saying today in the press conference that yes, we're gonna work out some veterans tomorrow and some up and comers, which honestly I don't really want an up and comer. I feel like we have that already with Lenny Craig, an up and comer, you know. I
Right.
want a proven veteran personally,
T
but
Will, you
what's
hear
your
what
thought?
Carrie's talking about, man. You gotta jump on this, T Will, because you talked about Cool last season with the injury and changing his mechanics. He even got to the point today where I think he blamed Mercedes-Benz Stadium with the turf. Sound like
Yes.
Messi for a minute. Sound like
I,
a soccer player for a minute, blaming the turf out there. And it's kind of disappointing because I'm gonna tell you right now, where I was, the fans around me said he's missing that kick. And those were Falcon fans. The
I
fans
had the
around
worst
me said
feeling,
he's missing
Jack.
the kick, and those are Falcon fans.
He kicked it towards where I was sitting, and I was just like, "Oh," I couldn't even look because I just had a gut feeling like I never want to wish him to miss it, but I just had this gut feeling like he's
But
not going to make this,
Carrie,
is he?
when you have Falcon fans telling other Falcon fans he's missing this kick because they know who that guy is.
He's not automatic anymore. It's unfortunate, but he's lost us, now this is the fourth game where we could have tied it to go to, it's not going to win you the game, because that was not a game winner, but it would have given you a chance to go to overtime.
And you would have beat them like you did last year in the Benz too as well, going into overtime. But Carrie, I remember when Matt Ryan was doing the late game drives, and I would say, "We got the ball last. Don't worry, we got Matt
R-
Ryan." That's how
Right.
confident I was in Matt Ryan. Because remember early in his career, he'll put you away in those fourth quarter late game drives. Game is over. But
What did
then
he write?
yesterday,
I'm sorry, I'm trying to see what T-Will
what
wrote.
does it say? Let me get the T. Hold on, let me put it on the screen here. Hold on. Hips don't lie. Oh my gosh. T Will's in the chat
Hips
here
don't
talking
lie,
Falcons
yeah.
football. Falcon fans, yesterday, even looking at the cool situation, fans were saying that he is going to miss this kick before he takes the kick. That's the sad part. The fans are not trusting him. So the question goes, are we cool with cool as a Falcon? T Will, talk to us about it, man, because this is the last topic for tonight. We're getting ready to get up out of here. Fans in the chat are not happy with this kicking
Hmm.
situation. Raheem mentioned bringing in veterans and other kickers. Hell, might be 50 kickers lined up. Hell, I might even go put on my cleats and go line up there at Flowery Branch tomorrow morning. But T Will, when he's talking about veterans, are we talking about Sebastian Janikowski here? Are we talking about bringing back Matt Bryant
I
here?
was about to say, what
Because
is Matt Bryan doing these days?
fans watching the game
Suit
like, I would
up.
have made that. I would have made that. I would have made that. I mean, at this point, you
For
can go.
real.
People have mentioned
You think
Rodrigo.
he's joking, T-Will?
Right. I mean, this is it's sad that you have to get to. We talked about Kirk Cousins last year. Now we're spending time on the kicker, dude. Like we're spending time talking about the kicker in week one, man.
That's
Do
not
not want to do
acceptable.
think I honestly think I look at I think Koo's been hurt for a year and a half, 2 years. I think that's why he changed his delivery. And one thing about hips, they typically don't get better. They typically don't. Hips and shoulders can
Mm.
on what you
Don't
do.
scare me about the shoulder now. We got like two
Well,
guys with
when I
messed up
talk about
shoulders.
shoulder, I'm talking about
Oh,
for a
okay.
pitcher. For a pitcher, your
Mm.
shoulder, pitcher, quarterback, that can take you out. For
Okay.
kicker, that hip, right? Because again,
So
it's
you're
very
telling me
difficult.
he's done? It's over.
Well, it feels like it, right? So
Yeah.
if you look at what yesterday, I'm gonna take you through what happened. If you look at one yesterday, you got ready to kick the ball. Guy called timeout or whatever, the head coach, sorry, for Tampa Bay. And he kicks it, but it veers to the left. And I think it went in, but it barely went in. It barely went in, right? So he probably says to himself, okay, I don't want to miss this. So I'm going to veer it towards the right, right? And when he veers it towards the right,
He will. How about just put it in the middle?
well, here's the thing.
Oh,
I
damn,
hear you.
Carrie.
You got one
I
job. I don't
understand.
know.
Well, so the reason you don't do that is because
just kidding.
when they kick the ball, it moves, right? It moves. It moves left or right. And
I know, T. Will. I know you're a Coup fan, okay? Like I
no, I'm
get
not.
it,
I'm
but
not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not
Yeah, Carrie, between
apologizing.
Koo and Franks, I don't know what
I'm
staff
not.
she was getting ready to go
I'm
to.
not apologizing. What I am saying.
I'm just
What
kidding.
I'm saying is, with that delivery, I don't think he can do it anymore. That's
Yeah.
just me talking. With that,
And
what I saw with that delivery, we've been going through this with Coop for the past year and a half. I don't think he can do it anymore. I just don't. That's just me. So,
yeah,
at,
and to
at,
your point, T. Will, like I saw a lot of people complaining actually, people are always complaining about something, but they were complaining when the Benz announced that the roof was going to be closed. They're like, the roof is always closed. And then now in hindsight, I'm thinking, you need to have the roof closed every game if you want, to have hopes that Koo is going to make the field goal because you don't want any kind of wind.
Well, he's
Um,
9 for 16 indoors, and he's six. I think he's missed 6 of the last. He missed his last 6 kicks within 50 yards.
wow. All
I
I
think the
know
writing's on
is
the wall. I think the writing's on the wall. I think the Falcons like Coop. I don't think they wanted to necessarily go ahead and make a decision and get somebody else. But again, in my humble opinion, and I'm not a kicker, but in my humble opinion, I really think he's done. I think
Are
he
you a
changed
puncture?
that.
I think he's
You said what?
You say you're not a kicker. Are you a puncture?
No, I'm not.
Some people say they're not a lover, they're a
I get
fighter.
it.
Like,
I get it. I get
where are
it.
you at with this one?
Ah,
You see, put on the music. Cue the music. Let's go, T. Will.
uh, at this point
no.
in my age, I'm a shooter. No, I'm kidding. Anyway,
want
uh,
oh
I'm
T.
just
Will.
kidding.
T.
I'm just
Will.
kidding.
Sorry, just a
I'm
coup if
just
you're watching, that's not in regards to you.
It's
We
not.
do not
It's
know where
not.
you live. I know Eric's
Yeah,
asking where do you live in the
he's
chat,
talking
but we do
Fortnite.
not know where you
He's
live.
talking Fortnite. He's a big Fortnite player. Right.
But
T. Will.
no, you just can't depend on him to win you
Right.
games or even just make routine kicks anymore. I mean, it'd be one thing if we were asking him to make like a 60-yarder to hope to make it to overtime. Penix did his job and drove us all the way down the field.
Uh-huh.
You only really had to make that 44-yarder, which should be routine, in my opinion. That's a routine kick these days.
T. Will, comment back on what you were saying too. Big Direction said, "Have y'all been on the field? I don't like that turf. It's slippery." Kerry was standing on the field all day yesterday with
Oh
T.
my
Will. I've been on that field multiple times. The only
yes.
time I'm gonna tell you right now,
T-Will
respectfully,
had cleats on.
the only time I've ever heard anybody mention that turf or that field were from soccer players. And because they
Okay.
like playing on they don't like playing on the
Grass.
artificial turf stuff. Like when Messi came that first day, Mercedes-Benz flipped that field for him. Now he has to play on the
Yeah.
turf. Now when they come back, I guess he has to understand it. The international games, when those guys come there, they flip the field. Those international players are not playing on that turf.
They're so used to grass. In Europe,
Right.
they like grass, but T-Will was okay. He had his cleats on, so
You could
I,
he
be in sand, you could be in dirt, you can be in mud. If you're a kicker and you've kicked the ball over 1,000 times, that kick right there is money. That's money. Okay,
44.
okay,
Yeah.
I'll say this. If he misses that kick and he made the last 49 kicks, it's perfectly fine. Hey, cool. Hey, man, get back in the building. Go back in there, do your practicing, get you trained like you said in the interview today. You're perfectly fine. But this is something that's been going on for a while. And
My thing is that
Mhm.
you should have addressed this before the season started because now you might have personnel change mid-season, which is never good, right? Like you don't really want that, just like you don't want a quarterback change. A kicker's not as major, but you still don't want that. I mean,
agreed.
and not just that, but because Koo played yesterday, his contract, the money he's owed became fully guaranteed. If you would have cut him before his first game, you would have been able to cut ties without guaranteeing his salary for this year. I don't know. Me, like, I'm, I would consider myself a nice person, empathetic person. I usually would feel bad, like I'm never trying to come for somebody's job, but I mean, you can look up his salary. He's the second highest kicker. He'll be just okay if we cut. The Falcons end up deciding to cut ties. I
Mhm.
mean, I'm pretty sure he's made like $24 million, so he'll be just okay. It's just unfortunate though.
The country would say,
Yeah,
"Daggum." Sheesh.
yeah. I mean, like, I never want to call for anybody's job, but like honestly, Raheem has to look at it this way. If I don't like make the decision that puts the team first over like players because I like them and I have a good relationship, emotional bank, I can lose my job as the head coach. Like if I
Mhm,
decide to put players over team,
mhm,
because if you pick like just like last season, you let Kirk stay out there knowing he was hurt because he's a veteran, optics, we already paid him, all this, that. It's like he loses you games, he loses you this division lead, 6-3, just to lose a division. I mean, would you keep continuing to do that with Koo? Because Koo lost us a game or two last season. You want him to continue to lose you games this season? It's like the definition of insanity, right? Like you can't do the same thing and expect different results, in my opinion. And I do appreciate that Raheem said that they're gonna work out kickers tomorrow because to me, you gotta put the team first. Otherwise, next up will be your job, unfortunately, because it's NFL's results-driven business, right? Like, they
mhm,
don't care that, I really like this guy as a person, Koo's a good guy. Like, they wanna see that you're producing on the field, and that's just the
mhm.
way it is.
Falcon fans, even going to the situation, T. Well, I know we're getting ready to wrap it up here. Falcon fans are in the chat talking Falcons football. Eric Parker wants to know, T. Well, do you have your cleats on now, and can you make it to Flowery Branch? Um, Real quick, Falcon fans, my concern is you go have this kicking battle this week. He wins the kicking battle in practice at Flowery Branch, gets out there Sunday in Minnesota and misses another kick. And it's like, well, where do we go
Mm,
now? Right? You brought in all these kickers and you did all this stuff. And he went, let's just say he goes 5 for 5 this week in the kicking battle or 10 for 10 this week in the kicking battle. It still doesn't assure fans that you're finna go out there and get the job done on Sunday because you left a bad mark on the fans in that feeling. To see
and
Michael Penix drive down the field and put
Mhm,
this team
mhm,
in a crucial position to go
mhm,
make the kick go to overtime and get it done. But
mhm.
I can't even imagine to see the fans around me say he's missing this kick.
I knew it. Well, okay. I'm not gonna say I knew it. I had a strong feeling he was gonna miss the kick, especially when what's his name called timeout, and you saw it barely skirt into the left. Because I said to myself, he's gonna kick it right because he saw what I saw, and I
mhm.
said, okay, he's gonna push this right, and he did exactly what I thought he was gonna
You
do.
know what it reminded me of, T. Will? I don't want to cut you off. When Country plays golf and he says, I'm about to stripe this down the middle,
Oh,
and
wow.
then he hits the ball, and I say, we ain't gonna find that one, Country. We ain't gonna find that
Yeah,
one till tomorrow.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
That's
I
how
thought
it
that
felt
was
when he was getting
you.
ready to kick that ball.
I
Not
I
D-Will.
my concern with Koo is if it becomes mental, you know.
I
Falcon
feel
Um,
like
fans,
it's already there. I mean, did you see him, like, fall to the ground after he
yeah,
missed that? And then he said it was very emotional. He ran out of the locker room before even speaking to the
yeah,
media. D-Led was on that beep. Like, he
yeah,
was ready to go in there and talk to him,
yeah.
post-game, but they said he grabbed his stuff and ran out of there.
my homie called
It
me,
it
Kerry,
it
and
it, it,
said,
it is tough, man. It
mhm,
it is, and that's why these athletes, my heart goes out to them because anybody can stand up when you win.
mhm.
Right.
Ooh, when you got the hope of an entire city on your back and you miss
Bro,
when
you
you
talk about
should when you should nail it and you got to stand there take it's tough, man.
It
It is
is
tough.
tough,
Tua.
but that's why they get paid what they get paid to
Agreed.
do that.
Tua, the
I
Agreed.
mean,
Falcons score. You then watch the Bucs go down the field and score. So
Mm,
fans are like, "Let's go! We about to win the game! Oh my God, the Bucs scored! Michael Penix, we're back in position to go kick the field goal, and win the game."
it looks like me.
Bro? I saw fans do just like this. I'm out of here. I'm done. I'm done. I couldn't believe it.
Really?
I could
yeah,
not
Oh.
believe seeing that, Falcon
yeah.
fans. But we'll find out this week what goes on with
It's
this
gonna be an
kicking battle.
interesting week, Jack.
But
It's gonna be an interesting week
I'll tell you
because
this: you can't make them at home. You go into one of the loudest stadiums on Sunday. I've
Gosh,
been there.
my
It is loud
I'm
from the
gonna be
moment
so
you
stressed
sit
out.
down to the fourth quarter. It is loud
I'm sorry. I don't even
in
want to
Viper
say he's
Stadium.
not even gonna make it because I don't want to put negative vibes out there, but I already have a feeling. Like you're telling me, because you're at home with the roof closed, so there's no weather
There's
that's
no
affecting
wind,
your
right?
kicking,
There's no wind,
and
right?
the fans are trying to be quiet for you. Except a lot of the fans, they like to yell "coo," like, to support him, and I'm like, "Be quiet, like,
I
he
used
needs
to
his
all the time.
focus."
Why do y'all yell cool? Now they ain't even yelling. Now
Yeah,
they're booing it. They're
just
not even saying cool. They're
distracting
booing
them,
it.
you know?
Right.
Yeah, so for me, like, this is the place that you gotta make all your kicks. They gotta be automatic at home. And to your point, Jack, you're going to a tough environment like Minnesota. Oh man,
Let's hope that the
that's
Falcons
tough.
don't put him in that situation to be down
There
2 points
you
with 3 seconds left to go. Because right now the Bears are attacking it onto the Vikings. We want to make sure y'all can go ahead and watch that game. I think it's about to be 14-3
go.
here.
14-3, yeah.
So Falcon fans, we want to make sure y'all can enjoy your Monday night. But
Jack, to that point
Mhm.
about like, maybe that can change the coaching. Raheem did mention that today, that last season, because Koo was missing field goals, that's why they were going for it more often on fourth down.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, because of him not being reliable to make those field goals, they would try to go for it and try to score touchdowns
I saw it.
instead.
Yep.
Well, so basically, what are we gonna do? Try to run it back? And that's what they essentially asked him today. Like, are you gonna do that again? He's like, yeah, like we're gonna have to try to game plan around it if we don't, find a solution.
Right.
It's like
Right. My friend called
the
me too, Kerry. He said, after the game, he said, I heard y'all got AB in the locker room. I said, AB? He said, yeah, I got a little bit of Antonio Brown in there. I said, who? We ain't got no Antonio Brown. He said, Koo's not speaking to the media after that kick. You were a kicker. Get over there and
mm.
speak to the media. But then again, I'm a fan. And I'm a fan on one time for
Yeah,
the fan.
he definitely should have spoken
He
to the.
did speak to them today, though, at
Yeah,
least.
no, I,
But
I get it, but
He
you
did.
got to
but
stand up. That's a part of, like you say, Kerry. That's why you get paid the money that you do. Success or failure doesn't matter. You got to be
right.
there to look those people in the eye and give them a reason.
And to
And
me, honestly, if you don't have like, it's always better to not give an excuse, like, please don't try to blame the turf, like, come on, this is
yeah,
your home stadium, respectfully. Just literally be like, "I'm sorry, I have to do better. That
You
is
threw
not
the grounds
acceptable."
crew
Like,
for Mercedes-Benz under the bus. And you've been
yeah,
kicking on
low
that field. This
key,
ain't your
yeah.
first day kicking on
Yeah,
that
it's not
turf.
like it's
You
you're
threw them
new to
under
the
the bus.
stadium, like, I didn't understand the whole turf comment, that was weird
Right.
to me.
I thought when I heard the
Um,
turf, I was about to say, "Oh, is Messi at the podium? Is that Messi? Oh,
yeah.
what's going on
it
over
just
here?"
I don't,
felt
I
like
don't, I don't
an
know what that's
excuse.
about.
It just felt
But
like an excuse, honestly.
yeah,
I have the exact quote here I can read real quick, but it literally just felt like an excuse to me. As a fan, I don't want to hear that. Like, I literally would rather you just say, I'm sorry. I know I disappointed my team, my coaches, and the Atlanta Falcons fans. I have to do better. I understand that I get paid to do a job and I didn't deliver today, and that's not acceptable. I
Or as
mean,
Eric
geez, I
Parker
could have
said,
wrote a
Kerry.
speech for him if he needed me to. Hit me
Eric
up,
Parker
Pooh.
said, just go to the mic and said, I'm just here so I don't get fined. That's just the easiest way to
Oh,
say it. Falcon
wow.
fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Getting ready to wrap up this show here. Once again, we want to make sure y'all can go ahead and enjoy your Monday night. People got stuff to do tomorrow. They want to watch the rest of the Vikings getting smashed up against the Chicago Bears. Grady Jarrett on the field too as well. Shout out Grady Jarrett out there. Big time former Atlanta Falcon. Now he's with the Bears, but shout out Grady.
Oh,
Drew Dahlman over there too as well. I mean, I think we might be Kerry might. I think we might have needed both of them yesterday. You never know. Some people
mm,
are mad about Root too as well. I mean, there's a lot going on here. But Falcon fans, this is a spot to come talk Falcons football. One time for the fans, from the fan, for the fan. And we definitely enjoyed this talk with you all. Once again, we said the same thing everybody else is saying. So we're content creators, we're podcasters, but go look around the media in the Falcons community. The journalists are talking about it. The reporters are talking about it. So don't let these content creators get on here and start, getting in your feelings. They've been talking about it for the past 24 hours. We just got on here at 8:30 at night and started talking about it a day
right.
later. So Falcon fans, let's hope that the team goes and prepares well, practices well this week for the Minnesota Vikings, so we can go see this team go 1-1, because we got some big games coming up. And you definitely, like Craig said, you do not want to start the season 0-2, because
No.
fans will be hot. The next 3 games after that, I think you have the Panthers, Washington, and the Bills. It gets a little bit tougher on that road. Another division matchup too as well. Panthers,
At
spend
least
30
they looked
seconds on this.
bad.
Panthers look bad too as well. I saw that yesterday. Travis Hunter could have played every position on the field by himself and still beat the Panthers. But even looking at the
Wow.
Saints yesterday, that team looks horrible.
I
Kyle
love
Murray
it.
saying that he had the boo-boo guts before he had to go out there and play against the Saints. I don't know if they tried to bring out the voodoo doll on him, but it didn't work. Kyle Murray ate the king cake, and he went crazy out there on the New Orleans Aints. But
Love it. I love it,
it's
Jack,
still a battle, I
honestly.
think, between the Falcons and the Bucs. Falcons 0-1, Bucs 0-1, Panthers 0-1, but I'm sorry, Saints 0-1, Falcons 0-1, Panthers 0-1, but the Bucs 1-0. They lead the
We got to
division right
get the
now.
win. We got to get the win because right now, technically, we're in fourth because we have a division loss. So we got to
Right,
get the win this week,
right.
honestly.
Big directions thinks the Saints and the Panthers are going to start 0-2. Falcons, we have to go
It's
1-1. We
love it.
have to beat. Now, I can't believe this. Everybody's going to say it's a must-win game, but you have to beat the Vikings Sunday
Because
night.
you
You
didn't
don't
beat
want
the
to go
Bucks.
0-2.
I
Right.
felt like the Bucks game was like a must win because you're at home, right? Like you want to at least split, if not sweep them, but like split, and you have a better chance to do that at home.
Mhm.
Um, and start the season, and, like give the guys confidence. You're 1-0 to start the season, heading into Minnesota under the bright lights, Sunday Night Football. I would have loved that win, honestly. To have a one up over the whole division, I would have
Mhm.
loved it. But yeah,
Well, we'll see what the Falcons do this week. Falcon fans, it's great talking Falcons football with you. Miss
yes,
Carey, let's get to these shout outs so we can enjoy the rest of our Monday nights. We said we would talk for like 30, 45 minutes,
I
and it went
know.
over an hour and 15 because why? We're really passionate about the Atlanta Falcons. We love this team. And I guarantee right now, if the players are watching, if the coaches or the organization is watching, we didn't say nothing wrong. Everybody's
No.
talking about this. They're talking about the defense. They're talking about the one sack. They're talking about how we almost had 4 interceptions, or the look that we almost had 4 interceptions. They're talking about the kicking situation. They're talking about the offensive line too as well. They're talking about the run game, right? They might even talk about Freddie's. I think that's a Guinness Book of World Record what Freddie did yesterday. Shout out to
Man,
Freddie the Falcon,
shout out to
man. Like,
Freddie the Falcon, the best mascot in the league, doing
man.
a stunt, right before the game started. That was awesome. Shout out to him.
Big shout
But
out to all
yeah,
the new faces with the Atlanta Falcons cheerleaders too, as well. There's a lot of new faces in the building. Carrie tried some of the food as well, the new food items at the stadium yesterday. I did get a chance to try the tomahawk steak. It is really good. Shout out to Chef Matt
wow.
and the team over
I
there.
didn't get a chance to try that. I'm jealous.
Sheesh, well, T. Will, I mean, there was a lot going on yesterday, but I guarantee you this: we will find out the next time we get back to the Bens what is going on behind the scenes. Because I did get a chance to speak to Chef Matt, and we are getting ready to set this show up. I promise you, we're setting this show up. Chef Matt is not far from here, so we're getting ready to set that show
Nice.
back up so we can get Chef Matt over here to talk some Falcons and talk about MBS. But we want to get ahead. We want to go ahead and wrap this show up.
Okay.
Miss Carrie, your shout outs. You was on point tonight. Chat loved
You
it. I'm sure
too.
everybody who's going to listen on Apple and Spotify and Amazon and everybody else is going to love it too as well. Shout out to you all that's pushing the numbers over there. I've been seeing a lot of good numbers coming from Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Amazon. And also our new subscribers too as well. We've had a lot of new subscribers in the past couple of days. So everybody's really enjoying what we have going on. And let's just wrap it up with these shout outs. I see I got Carrie and Terry
Sorry, I had a
avatared out. So,
no,
I was
I'm
getting ready to do
here.
the shout outs for y'all. So,
No, sorry, I had a sneeze. I didn't want to do that on camera.
no, you're
Sorry.
good. You're good.
But
Shout out to
no,
Carrie.
shout out to you, Jack. Shout out to T Will. Shout out to Bodie. Um, Fortunately, I didn't get to see him at the game yesterday, but I
And
did
he's
see a
literally
lot
feet
of.
away from you and you couldn't see him. But Carrie, it was packed where
It
he
was
was yesterday.
packed. I'm telling you guys, the fans did their job. You know how during training camp, Raheem and Terry said, make sure you're at the games. Like, we need you guys. Like, the fans did their job. I'm not gonna lie. It was very packed out in there and it was very loud. We were waving our flags. We were loud on third down. It was awesome. But yeah, so shout out to all the fans that were at the game, or shout out to everybody who's just watching from home. Um, I appreciate everybody who came into the chat and supported us and talked Falcons with us. And yeah, let's get this win on Sunday.
Let's get it. We got some more shows coming up this week too, Falcon fans. So
Yeah.
this is not the last show. Last night we couldn't do the show because, of course, after the game, hang out with Carrie, and we had some player family with us too as well. Don't want to mention who it was, but we respect everybody that we hang with and that we talk to. A lot of things we won't say. Eric Parker be hitting me up all the time. What did they say? What did they say? They ain't finna say nothing. I do have a lot of respect for them, and things that I hear, things that I see, I would never say. But big shout out to T Will, big shout out to Miss Carrie. T Will, got your shout outs, my brother.
I do. Shout out to everybody in the chat who joined. You could have been anywhere in the world. You chose this time to be with us. We appreciate it. We enjoy it. Shout out to you, Jack and Carrie. Always enjoy doing shows with you guys. Shout out to my brother, Eric Parker, just because. And bro, I'm still better than you at spades. Whatever.
Oh
I want to thank
wow.
God too. I just did that to piss him off.
You were just waiting to say that one.
Oh my God, he's gonna send back 25 insults. Anyway, love you, bro. No, in all seriousness, hey man, thank you to everyone. Thank God for waking me up this morning. And again, thank you, Jack and Eric, for giving me my start in this business. You can see me at For My ATL Sports 1 on YouTube and For My ATL Movies 1 on YouTube. And right here on One Time for the Fan Jackets on you.
Hey, big shout out to a lot of people. I just go ahead and throw it out there, man. Big
Shout out to milkshakes.
That's
shout out
what
to
I'm looking at.
milkshakes. Hey, look, shout out to the
That's what I'm
Bowman
looking
family.
at. Oh,
I see
man.
it. I see it. Jack skips when he drinks milkshakes. I see it in the chat.
Milkshake actually sounds real good right now. I might have to hit
I
up For
haven't
My
had a milkshake
ATL
since I was like
drive-through.
10 years old. Like, where do you find a milkshake
I
these
see
days?
what
Like,
you did there, Carrie. I see what you did. You were waiting
hold
to
on,
do
I heard
that.
that one.
You were. You
Hold
were.
on, I
Sorry.
got you, Gary.
What up? I just dunked on it.
I see
Fox
that.
fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Shout out to the Bowman family. Y'all are great. Y'all are great, man. Shout out to Billy Bowman. Shout out to Billy Bowman Sr. Shout out to the Robinson family too as well. Bijan, the whole fam, man. Y'all are great. Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Shout out to the Malones too as well. I see y'all Malones. Y'all deep. Y'all was deep as hell yesterday. I was like, oh, damn, y'all finna jump me. Big shout out to the Malone family. And of course, a lot of other families too as well who watch the podcast and tune in, and we rock with them. Y'all rock with us. Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Big shout out to Miss Carrie. Everything that she's done for the podcast. Carrie got the message today this morning. And of course, T Will too as well. Bodie 3000 showed up yesterday. He did not bring a mop, so they didn't need him.
Oh wow!
So they sent him back to another station.
Oh,
but Bodie 3000 was in the building. You watch Bodie jump in the chat. Right?
Roughness on Jack.
Bodie was there yesterday. So for the fans, it's like, where's Bodie? Where's Bodie? Bodie was there yesterday. I had a good chat with Bodie. Of course, 404 Proof, the new podcast. Him, Boo Man Shouted, and Birdman is going well. The first episode dropped today, so make sure y'all go check out 404 Proof on YouTube. Big shout out to Bodie 3000. But shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to the Atlanta Falcons. I had honestly, win or lose, man, I have to work the next day. We got fam and stuff we have to take care of. Carrie had to get back on a flight and go right back to reality. But the energy was there. It was electric in that Benz. Mercedes-Benz Stadium did a good job putting on the where them fans at the little halftime performance with Miss Shirley. And then
she was so cute.
Girl,
she was adorable.
Everything.
Adorable.
The Georgia Redcoats band. Go Dogs, T-Will. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
The Georgia Redcoats band at halftime. Freddie the Falcon being Freddie the Falcon. And just everything around the game. But even leading up to that moment, the touchdown, and then the Bucs score, and then Michael Penix drives the team back down the field. Man, it's just some moments as Falcon fans. You walk in, you walk out, and you still know that you're a Falcon fan a day later. So big shout out to everybody here in the chat. Big shout out to T. Will once again and Miss Carrie. But we are out. We will be back on Wednesday night talking a little bit about Falcons, Bucs, maybe the end of it, wrap up the recap, and then we'll do Falcons, Vikings to get ready for our big Sunday night matchup. I will not be in Minnesota, so I don't know what I have planned. I don't know if we're going to go step out and watch the game, or we might just do a live stream or go live at the half, or something might go down. But thank you all. Thank you all for just being great. And Falcon fans, just continue being Falcon fans. I know it's hard to have these conversations with people, especially teams that are, they won week one, or, they feel like their team's going to be better than the Falcons and all that stuff. Just know that you're a Falcon fan at the end of the day. Just rep your team with pride. And let's just go out there and get ready for week 2. That's all we can do. The players have to go in there and watch film. They have to go back on the practice field. They have to talk about what they did wrong, what they did right, and they have to make it better to go to week 2. Here at One Time for the Fan, We're not going to spend time. Oh my God, remember preseason week 1? And what about if we did this in the summer? We have to get the week 2 as well. And that's what we're going to do here on One Time for the Fans. So Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. T-Will, Carrie. We up out of here, y'all.
Night, everybody.
Peace.